Honorable Minister Olivia Grange, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, Honorable Minister Edmund Bartlett, Minister of Tourism, High Commissioner Mayank Joshi and Jason Hall, Dr. Akshay Man Singh, members of the Indian diaspora, ladies and gentlemen. It is a real pleasure to stand here today at this historic site in Old Harbour, a place that carries deep meaning not only for Jamaica but for the shared history between India and this beautiful island nation. This historic site, the memorial, established in 1983 through the efforts of the Jamaica National Heritage Trust and the Indian community, stands as a solemn reminder of the arrival of the first Indians to Jamaica in 1845. It commemorates innumerable journeys, marking a story defined by resilience, adaptation, and contribution. It is particularly meaningful to see the presence today of the Honorable Minister Edmund Bartlett, who was closely associated with this effort in his earlier role in public service. I thank you, sir. This continuity of commitment reflects the enduring respect that Jamaica holds for its diverse heritage. Today, I truly feel the full weight of what it represents, not in stone and inscription alone, but the memory that is made more permanent. The monument embodies a people's journey, people who found their livelihood and an abode in the embrace of this nation. Friends, you are all aware of the term Girmitia and the circumstances in which this community arrived in Jamaica. They came from the heartland. They came from the heartland of eastern India, from the districts of Gorakhpur, Deoria and Basti, from the Bhojpuri and Awadhi plains. And they came because remorseless extractions had emptied their granaries, because colonial oppression had dismantled their livelihoods, and because the choice before them was not really a choice at all. The indentured system provided labor in the Caribbean under the legal fiction of voluntarism, a fiction that masked what was a coerced migration. The first 261 of them, as we heard, arrived in Jamaica aboard the Blundell Hunter on the 10th of May 1845. And between that year and 1917, over 36,000 men, women and children made that crossing. They arrived in a land they did not know, under conditions they had not anticipated, bound by contracts they could not escape. But they carried the customs, they carried their traditions, they carried their faith, and most of all, their resolve. And through their courage and perseverance, they saw the wheel of history turn finally in favor of freedom and dignity. Friends, today's occasion carries a special significance. We gather not only to honor history, but to mark 180 years since the arrival of Indians in Jamaica. Over those decades, the Indian community has become an integral part of Jamaica's social, cultural, and economic fabric. From cuisine, as we heard, to commerce, from music to traditions, the imprint of Indian heritage is visible across Jamaican society. Equally, what stands out is this heritage has blended seamlessly into the Jamaican motto of out of many, one people. Today's program reflects the vibrancy of this connection The cultural performances, traditional music, and cuisine remind us that heritage is not something that we merely remember. It is something we live, it is something we celebrate, it is something we pass on. And as we engage today with our Jamaican friends, with members of the diaspora here in Old Harbour Square, we recognize the role of the community as a living bridge between our two nations. Friends, India remains deeply committed to its relationship, to nurturing its relationship with communities of Indian heritage around the world. Through our missions abroad, we seek to keep these connections alive and meaningful. Initiatives such as Overseas Citizenship of India, as well as platforms like Know India program, scholarship program for diaspora children, we seek to build deeper understanding, especially among young people. In Jamaica, this finds meaningful expression in our support for the annual observance of Arrival Day. We commend the Government of Jamaica, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports especially, for making the Indian Heritage Day celebration possible every year. We are very pleased to work closely with institutions like the National Council for Indian Culture, whose contribution to preserving and promoting cultural heritage here has been truly commendable. Let me conclude by expressing my sincere appreciation to all those who have made today's event possible: the Government of Jamaica, the local authorities, the community leaders, the cultural groups, the members of the diaspora, and particularly the two honorable ministers who have taken time out to join us today. This site, ladies and gentlemen, this site reminds us of where the journey began. Today, we honor that journey and carry it forward with pride. Thank you very much.